Okay. A very good evening, everyone. Uh, First of all, everyone, can you please confirm me through the chat box? Is my audio clear and the video is clear for you? Is my audio and the video both clear for you? Is there any connection issues or video blur Gatiak? If there is something like that, please do let me know quickly. All good? Perfect? Before we start the session? All good. Right. So this is going to be an introductory session as well as an interactive session. Okay. So you can ask all your doubts from me. Okay. So regarding the combined math subject stream, combined mathematics subject as well as the physical science stream, and if anyone is planning to do ICT instead of chemistry, how it goes. So you can ask. Those are the common things that students have asked out. And where to start, when to start. Okay. So you can see the participation, right? So most students think that started now, just now only now we finished. Obviously, last Thursday you finished your O levels, right? Last Thursday you finished your O levels, means Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So only 3 days passed. Okay, only 3 days passed soon after your O levels. We started the A level introductory session also for combined maths. So isn't it too early? It's not too early, right? It's not too early. Why is that? Y'all are already 3 months, okay, or already 2 months behind the schedule, because usually the regular schedule for A level is O level finishes in December and A level starts in January or December last week itself. Your O level has been postponed to February, and now you are starting A levels in March, which means you are already 2 months behind the schedule, right? So you should understand that A level subject streams, why we call that an A level? Because it's advanced level, right? Okay. Before I talk about all these things, okay, I have to assure you that I have the qualifications to do this. Now, otherwise, you can question me to tell all these things, to guide us about all these things. What's the qualification you have? So since you all are coming from O levels to A levels, right? The environment is going to change. The lecturers are going to change. The type of the lecturers is going to change. The working methodology is going to change. So I have to, I'm going to talk about all those things and how you have to start working and how you have to adapt to the A level track, all those things. So before that, I have to give my introduction. So I hope you all have seen my name in the posters or the whatever the details that I have shared via WhatsApp. From that only you got my Zoom meeting link, no? Right? So I'm Arman Shalik. Okay, I'm a graduate from University of Sri Javadanapura in physical science stream, and I did mathematics, statistics, and computer science as subjects in my degree. Okay. Also, currently, I'm reading my master's in mathematics education. Also, I'm a lecturer for combined mathematics in a school, in a leading boys school in Colombo. Okay. And also I started teaching A levels in 2021, which means my first batch who went for A levels is 2021. Those days I started with small individual and group classes. My main mass class is 2026 batch, main mass class. So that doesn't mean I haven't produced results. Okay. So 2021 A level was my first batch who went for exams, and from my first batch itself, it was an individual class, actually 2-3 students group class. Okay, from that we produced results, and students were juniors in my university when I was doing my degree in university. In the same university, my students were my juniors in my same university. So I can proudly say that. Okay, that's about me, right? So when it comes to combined math subject, first of all, we'll talk about the subject stream and then we'll talk about the subject. So everyone, all of you guys are here to get some sort of an idea how this subject stream works. So everyone says just because the combined maths is hard, don't believe that it's going to be hard. Okay, right? So we'll start like this. When it comes to A levels, we have 5 subject streams, Naputa. Right, children? 5 subject streams are there. So what are those subject streams? Number one, physical science stream. Physical science stream. Okay. Number two, what? Bioscience stream. Bioscience stream. Number three, commerce stream. Number four, tech stream. Number five, arts. These are the major streams that you have in A levels. So now I sorted the first two streams for the first two ranks. First 1 and 2 these two are equally valuable, okay? Because equally valuable in the sense depending on the path. This is a separate line, this is a separate path. So 3, 4, 5 not to degrade the other ones, right? Because my subject stream is physical science and bioscience is a science subject. That's why I just prioritize that one when I'm listing, right? That doesn't mean these are subpathing, so right? But however, when it comes to 5 subject streams, I will show you the stats of 2024 A-level statistics or a resource analytics of 2024 A-levels. You will understand that how many students sat for physical science stream and bioscience stream, and how the students sat for how many students sat for these streams. You can see the contrast of the numbers, how small this count is, how big these counts are, okay, and how the pass rate of these subjects and how the pass rate of these subjects are. And depending on the pass rate, how the university intakes varies, how the demand created, and based on that demand, how the courses are demanded. Based on those demand, how the Z score is Z score cutoff is decided, and based on that Z cutoff, how you can do the degrees, and based on that degree, what are the job opportunities you can get in industry. So that's what I'm going to mainly talk about here briefly, but we can't in depth. I can't talk about everything, but to get a brief idea for your level, I'll be discussing everything that you need. Okay. So this physical science and bioscience stream, Puta, all subject streams are there for what? For whom? The people who's actually interested in that subject stream. But unfortunately, what our O-level students, you all are O-level students just after O-levels, no? But what our students think is that we have to select the stream where we can easily get the A pass. No, Puta. So take this one as an advice. Every single human being must have a goal, not a dream. Okay, dreams are something that you can imagine and daydream in the buluwan. You won't be able to achieve the dream if it is just a dream until you set that as a goal. Goal is something that is tangible and achievable. Okay, so you have to first of all have a goal, right? So you have to have a goal. So for that goal, you have to first of all put a list. What are the tasks that I should complete? What are the sub goals that I have to achieve in order to reach my final goal? For an example, if you want to become a electronical and electrical engineer, the most complicated engineering that is considered currently, electronical and electrical engineer, your ultimate goal is to become an electronical or electrical engineer and go for a good job opportunity or to the industry or establish your own business in that relevant engineering field. The first thing you have to understand is you have to do what? AL maths with chemistry, not with ICT. Okay. So you have to decide you first. If you're not fixing your goal, you don't know what is the subject you have to select also. I will tell why you have to do chemistry instead of ICT. I will tell you that later. Number two, before that you have to, in order to do A-level maths, you have to pass O-levels. Right? So now this phase is over. Once you reach this goal, this phase is over. Now whatever the results you get, you have to get that result and work for the future subjects. When it comes to A-level maths, if you just get 3 A's, it's not going to be enough to get into Moratuwa University and do electrical and electronical engineering. Now, Moratuwa University is the highest demanded university for engineering, right? Also for the AI. So if you all want to get into the Moratuwa University, then you have to get good 3 A's. Good 3 A's, which means above 85, right? So your next goal is not just selecting A-level combined maths, having 3 A passes with a good cutoff, not just by 75 marks or 76 marks, above 85 marks. That should be your ultimate goal. So that's goal setting. So just a brief example I gave you. You should understand your goal, Puta. If a person wants to become an accountant, if that person is interested in that particular field, then why they have to choose biophysical science or bioscience? For the commerce stream students, accounting is a compulsory subject. The other 2 subjects, you can, in a mix, you can choose it, right? Tech people who wants to work in engineering technology field, they can select tech, right? Those who are into art side, like logic side or political side or media side, poetic side. So those areas, if you can do arts, right? Language area, that person can do arts. So you have to remember, you have to select the subject stream not based on the difficulty, right? You have to select based on your goal and your interest. Goal and interest. I'm not going to bring up the criteria, the potential. You can develop the potential. You can develop the skill. Nobody is born with a brain that, some people say that, right? Born genius. Those are bullshit, Puta. There is nothing like that. Born genius people are not there. Every single person who achieved in their subject area or professional area are people who by force willingly stepped into that one and continuously trained for that one and developed their interest towards it and succeeded in that area. Number one thing, you have to have the goal. If you have the goal, then only you will be able to force the interest into that. Why I'm saying force? And the other thing is, all our students' mindset is that I have the interest. I don't have the interest to do. I want to do engineering, but it's really difficult to get the interest to do study maths. You have to understand that interest is not something that comes by nature. Interest is not something that coming by nature. By nature, interest in there. You have to force the interest. If you want to achieve a certain goal, then you have to put your brain into that. You have to put your effort into that. With continuous learning, you will understand that you are getting to know this. I can do this. Idea kenawa. So you will develop the interest automatically. So you have to understand interest is not something that you will get by nature. Potential is not something that you'll get by nature. There is nothing like that. Skill is something that you get by DNA, nothing like that. Then every doctor's son or daughter must be a doctor, right? It's not like that, right? Skills, talent, abilities, okay, interest, those things are not transferred by DNA or not given by the nature. Those are something that a person puts their effort willingly and develops. So all of you guys are just finished your O levels, right? You have to finish that era now. O level yuga ivara karanda. Finish that O level era. Finish that O level age. Just 3 days after the O levels. Yes, of course. From now itself, you have to slowly step into A levels. You should understand that O levels is here now. A levels is here. There's a great gap between the 2 subjects, so 2 levels. This is ordinary level. This is advanced level. How advanced it is, for an example, any of the subject streams you do. It can be physical science, bio, it can be physical science, bio, commerce, tech, arts. I don't know about arts. Whatever the subject stream you select, if you are a person who wants to get into the state universities, if anyone is doing A levels, their ultimate goal is to get into the state universities, get selected to state universities. Whether they are getting into the state universities or not, that's their opinion. But my advice is get into the state universities and do your degree, right? I will tell you how valuable it is, right? So whatever the subject stream it is, a person who puts the effort to get 9 A's in all levels, to get 9 A's, which means they have to put certain level of effort to get the 9 A's. No? This times at least minimum qualification or minimum effort. 3 times you have to put for one subject in A levels. One subject, not for a subject stream, one subject. Chemistry nang chemistry, combined maths nang combined maths, physics nang physics. For one subject, you have to put this much of an effort. Right? So that's why I sorted this one in first 2 categories, because when it comes to that effort, Putha, the maths people and bio people, we'll talk about maths people because I'm a maths lecturer, right? We'll talk about maths people. These people will have a certain quality. Then actually, if you take a set of students, right, from all the streams and put them inside a room, right, maths bio when they walk inside that room, people know that this person could be a maths person or a science person. I don't know how you all think about that one now, but you will understand it if you do biology or mathematics. Let's say you all are here for combined maths, and if you all do combined maths properly, you'll understand that when you get into that get to that level, you'll understand what kind of a reputation is created among the people, what kind of an aura is created around you, right? Then everyone is talking about the aura, right? So that's a different kind of a vibe. Okay, so why is that? The people who's doing physical science, now there are 19 participants at the moment, right? Some people have sent a message, send them the recording because they have some other commitments soon after all levels. I can understand. Okay, so vacations might know. So we'll see. There are certain set of participants here. No? Among these students, right? You have to check check whether these qualities are there inside you. Is there, if you don't have any of these qualities, quickly try to grab that quality or develop that quality, then only you can do physical science. I'll talk about physical science later. First of all, we'll understand who can do combined maths. That was the topic of this session. Who can do combined maths? Actually, who can do physical science? Sorry. If you want to do A-level math stream, number one, the person must have, okay, unconditional sacrifice. Whenever you need, wherever you need, you should be able to do the sacrifice. Regarding in relation to what? Sometimes you might not be able to have your 3 times meal. Buy okay? This is not making you all nervous. This is something maths people means put a kind of a different kind of radical people, okay? They are very humble and they are very courageous. They are very humble and they are very courageous. They'll have a different kind of a quality, right? Their ideas are completely different. They see the world in a different way. Okay, when it comes to a problem, when one person sees one solution, these people see hundreds of solutions and hundreds of different consequences of those solutions, and they try to get the solution which has a minimum impact, minimum bad impact, minimum loss. We take solutions. So we should have that kind of, we should get that ability, not just by coming to the class, sitting and waiting for 4 hours and 4 hours or something. We can't take it. You should be able to do a sacrifice. There are a lot of things to think. If you take any subject stream, any commerce tech course, the maximum time is 2 hours for a class. From the day one physical science stream, Putak, my combined maths class goes for 4 hours, and after 4 months, I will be turning that to 5 to 6 hours session. At a stretch, in between that, you will get a 20 minutes, 25 minutes break. So that's what I'm saying. Sacrifice. You have to have that quality. If you don't have that quality, build it. I told you, interest doesn't come by nature. Abilities, skills won't come by nature. You have to give it. You have to get it. Unconditional sacrifice should be there. Sometimes you have last 7-8 months, right? You may have to sacrifice your sleep. So during my A levels and university, right, average sleeping time was somewhere around 3 hours. I'm not saying you have to sleep 3 hours, right? So that was my way. Not everyone can do that. Not everyone is required to do that. Some people are there, they know how to organize their works properly, and some people are there, when one person spend 3 hours to do a work, they will spend 1 hour to do the same amount of work. Effectiveness, right? So that one comes under learning methodology. The learning methodology I will slowly teach you during the classes and all. Today I'll just mention that one. Number 2 is Puta. Your this one. Trust. You have to have a 100 10,000% trust on you. You have to trust you. Mark my words. 9A people will be there. When it comes to first term examination of A-level maths, they will be getting below 35. Most of them, 90% of them. But you should understand that that is temporary. That is temporary. Why? Not because of the subject is hard, because the method is changing. Thinking pattern is changing. Answer writing methodology changes. Number of concepts or the way of delivering the concepts changes. Rather than memorizing the formulas, you have to derive formulas. You have to understand how this model is coming, how this relation is happened, why this relation is happening. If there's a quadratic function, what is actually explained by a quadratic function, how the nature of the quadratic function is evaluated in the nature, right? Practically you have to think. When it comes to applied mathematics, everything is practical. So that's why the first two papers, most of the students will get lower result, because that's the very first time they experience an A-level paper. But if you keep the trust, you can get the 100 out of 100 for maths paper. That's for sure. Why? Marks are allocated for the steps. If you know the thinking, there is nothing to do in the maths paper. If you know the thinking, just a small thinking, that development of that thinking ability, critical thinking, is the difficult part in physical science stream. But everyone, you have to keep a promise to yourself. If it is not today, sooner or later, I will be a person who understands every single question in maths. You have to have that courage within you, trust about you, right? Take the end on. You have to have an unconditional sacrifice. You have to have a trust on you. Okay. May the key to qualities. Number 3, you have to do quality work. Most students fail. There are some people actually do the sacrifice. They learn for 15 hours, 16 hours, they study from the beginning. But once they get a lower mark, so when they can't solve a question, they think that I can't do that. Maybe I'm not suitable for this. They think they are themselves like that. Your trust is gone, your belief is gone, you don't have the self-confidence. Whatever the other things you do, you're not going to get marks. Remember, when it comes to A levels, once you started working for A levels, number one thing you will lose is the people who's not working like you, the people who's not ready to put the effort like you. Simply your surrounding friends who's not putting the effort same as you will be leaving you. If you put a greater effort but they don't put any effort at all, they will leave you. They put a greater effort but you don't put any effort, still they will leave you, right? When it comes to A-level physical science, number one thing is you're going to lose friends. In some places you're going to be alone. You don't have friends, you don't have help, you don't except for the lecturer or your tuition lecturer or school lecturer or your parents. Except for those people, nobody is there to convert you. Sometimes parents might not be able to understand how hard it is about the physical science stream, right? How difficult that this subject stream is, right? If they don't have an experience, we can't blame them. right? So at that time, you have to be with them, you have to listen to them, as well as you have to manage your works. You will be alone. It will be you and your God and your self-confidence. So you can't let at any point lose the belief, trust, or the self-confidence that you have. Next thing is quality work. You should first thing, if you're going for a subject, for a particular subject, a particular class or a school, you had first thing you had to check is whether the lecturers who's teaching are qualified or not, whether they have a degree in that relevant subject field, and then check with their seniors, check with the seniors how they are working, right? Is the subject is organized randomly, if the subject is organized properly, do they know how to develop the thinking rather than just simplifications? Is the thinking methodology trained? How many years of past papers completed? How many months ahead the exam syllabus is completed? Everything comes under quality work. And from your side, under quality work, you have to complete these three things. Number one, 100% you have to complete the theory at least 4 months ahead the exam for all the subjects. At least 4 months ahead the exam. Ahead exam. At least 4 months ahead the exam, you have to cover the syllabus. If not last month, you can't do anything. 100% syllabus coverage. Number two, you should do model papers as much as you can. Past papers, at least last 30 years you have to do. Last 30 years past papers, 2 or 3 times, 2 is the minimum. Write discussions for them. How do we do that? That one, you will be get the guidance from the lecturer if you selected the correct lecturer. If you selected the correct lecturer, they will guide you. Usually the model papers are given in the classes. Past papers you can find it. Okay. So these three things you have to complete, plus select the correct guidance, select the correct lecturer for you. Is that person having knowledge in that subject stream? Okay. A level, if you want to teach O levels, your A level qualification is sometimes more than enough, because O level is that much subpar. If you want to teach A levels, that person must have a university degree, not a degree obtained from a private institution. Either a person who's an engineering graduate, or else should be a person who's a physical science graduate with a maths as a subject, because maths is right? So first thing, check the quality. Quality check, select the quality lecturer and do your quality work. If these three things are there, nobody can stop your A, not just A puta, not a 75 marks A, above 85 plus taking in A you can get. For what subject? For all three subjects. Definitely you can get it. Definitely you can get it. I can guarantee you, I can promise you. Right? With the help of the Almighty, you will be able to get the result. 85 plus kilo may, if you try, since you all are in the beginning stage or as first step again, but if anyone is doing all these things properly with a proper schedule, right? Without at any point, if you feel like lazy to do the work, recall your ultimate goal. That's why I told you first thing you have to have a goal. If you don't have a goal, Puta, every time you become lazy, you don't have a motivation. Dreams, goals. Set a goal. Every time you have a goal, when you feel like lazy, think what's your ultimate goal is. Based on that ultimate goal, right? Take your decision whether I'm going to take a rest or I'm going to work. Am I going to work? You have to have a self-motivation. And the other thing is, Puta, consistency. You have to be very consistent. Motivation fades. Consistent keeps the energy and the momentum on. So you have to understand that goal, that goal helps you to keep you motivated. That motivation Continuously you have to keep it, and continuously you have to put the effort and work. So you should be a consistent person. Consistency should be there. So this is this is someone who can do A levels or who can do combined maths. When I was sharing the post, what did I mention in the caption? Who can do A level combined maths? Actually, who can do A level physical science stream? Right? Only these people can do. They have to have a certain quality. Sacrifice karan ready can do. You have to have the self-confidence. You have to have that morale. Okay. If you get 0 marks for an exam paper, you have to take that as a lesson, not as a punishment. Take it as a lesson. If you are taking it as a punishment, take it as a positive punishment. What's the positive punishment? I'm going to add some additional work to my task and I'm going to complete this somehow. Pudha, we are taking a class fees from you. Why? Just to teach inside the class time. Outside the class hours, whenever you get a doubt solving a question, you should be able to contact the lecturer. Right? Right? So usually in my classes, what I have done is for every 26 by 27 A-level batch, I didn't keep any assistance regarding communication between the student and me regarding the subject. When it comes to LMS things, website related stuff, technical stuff, there is a separate assistant. So that one is dealing only related to that one. Subject related things, students directly able to contact with me. Because Putta, that's why you are paying a class fee. That's why I'm saying you have to, while you are doing a quality work, select the quality lecture. Right? So these are the people who can get the A pass and can do A level physical science. Sometimes you might thought who can do A level combined maths. You might thought that I might be discussing about the O level maths result. O level maths result to be honest. You will understand it once you get once you get into A levels and product like 2-3 months, 4 months. When you spend time in A levels, by that time only you will get your O level result. So then you will understand that O level is nothing but a complete lie, and you were like a lab rat. They were just doing some experiments. Lecturers are doing experiments, right? Syllabus is doing experiments using you, and also your thinking ability is framed. The current O level syllabus is something framing you guys into one particular area, right? So when you start at A level combined maths, you will understand how many lies are there, how many things are not taught there, how many things are hidden there, how many things are given as just a memorization rather than understanding. Right? You'll understand 2-3 months when 2-3 months pass. By that time, you will get the O level result. O level result you will understand that O level result, keeping that O level result in my head and try to do A levels, I will be definitely not be able to get the A pass. Right? O level is, that's what I told you in the beginning of the discussion. O levels. You finished it, O level era is gone. In Sinhala, they say that Yuga Avasan Karan. Finish the era. Finish the O level age. Finish that season. That is gone. Now you are stepping into an advanced season. Advanced level. Right? So if you ask me, then O level, if I get any result for O level maths, can I do A level combined maths? Answer is yes and no both. Let's discuss about yes. If you get an A pass for A level maths, no doubt, yes, that person is eligible to do A level maths. O level A yes, you are eligible to do A level maths. That doesn't mean that person definitely will get the A pass in A levels. There are 9A people who has taken 3 Ws. There are 8A 1B people who has taken 3 Ws in A levels. While people who got C pass for O level maths, they understood proper math in A levels, they properly worked and island rank gattu lamai innawa. Colombo district එකේ නැති වුණත් Kandy, Gampaha, Kalutara, Kurunegala, in those districts, island rank holders are there, island rankers are there who got all level C for maths, but in A level 3 A's with a rank and got into the Moratow University people are there. Right? So you should understand 2 different seasons, 2 different eras. Right? A, B, C. Yes, you are eligible. Eligible doesn't mean you will get the definite A for A levels. A levels from scratch, from zero, knowing nothing, you will have to start working. That doesn't mean you can forget everything in all levels. Some simplifications things are needed. Some geometric applications are required in A levels. Other than that, you're going to start from a newborn. You're going to start like a newborn baby. You're going to start like a newborn baby because there's a complete contrast, a huge learning gap between O levels and A levels. So how you're going to cover up that learning gap? How you can do it. Now, how about S people? But the number one thing is you should understand you passed O-level maths, but a required amount of effort you didn't put. That doesn't mean it is a restriction to start A-level combined maths. You can start it, but you have to put, compared to these people, you have to put an additional effort, put up වැඩිපුර effort එකක් දාලා කරන්න පුළුවන්. Can do. Still, there are examples, not like ultimate number of examples. There are good few examples are there who has taken S and A pass to combined maths in A levels. Some people, what they do is, if they have S, they do A level. While they do A level first year, parallelly they do OLs again and cover up their gap. And while they are doing O level again, they do A level first year. Make up balance from the second year, they get the momentum and really hard they work and get the A pass. Strategically they work. So what I'm trying to tell, OL, AL. Is there any strong connection between these two? No. There's a very weakened connection between these two. There's a very weakened connection. Everybody who starts A level should work from scratch. Just because you have an A, that doesn't mean you can start from wherever you want in A levels. You have to start from scratch, right? A, B, C, or S, doesn't matter. Everyone, they start A level from the same level, regardless of their O level result. The added advantage for these people is that since they have done their O levels properly, they can remember the concepts of O levels, which will help them in understanding the simplifications quickly. That's the added advantage. But still, there's a big gap between O levels and A levels in any subject stream, okay? In any subject stream. That's why from the government itself, this is not something I developed or any other tuition lecturers developed or maybe. From government itself, if you can remember in the caption I told you how to start, who can do A levels, what is the minimum qualification and all. I think I explained all those things. And the next thing I wanted to talk about is resources. In order to start A levels, what are the resources you need? Number one, your O level geometry is required for applied mathematics. Heavily yes, you need to know geometry properly. Okay. If you are not good with geometry, I will tell you how to cover it up. Number two, algebraic simplification. Algebraic simplifications. Number three, basic graphs and functions. So these are the key 3 areas you need from O levels to start A levels, step into A levels, right? Number 4, foundation. This is, I'm giving this name, okay? foundation for critical thinking. Right? So to cover up all these things, from the government, they have issued a syllabus separately. Before you start A-levels, you can do it. Along with the questions, you have that book to download in. You can just type like this: Foundation Course for AL Maths. Search this one in Google. Foundation course for AL Maths. Right? I don't know whether you have that one available in English. I got the Sinhala medium one only. I translate that one and I prepare my tunes. Okay. If you want, you can download it and work on your own. But however, in my classes, the first month, okay, I'm discussing this foundation actually as a topic review of basic algebra. Review of basic algebra within the first month, and also the first lesson real numbers. First lesson in combined maths is real numbers, same as your grade 11. But the idea of definition of real numbers is different in A levels. Okay, idea of real numbers, the definition of real numbers in A levels is actually O level. They don't give you a definition for real numbers. Here A levels, you have a definition for real numbers. Everything that you experience in A levels, you have a definition. Force, you have a definition. Moment, you have a definition. Momentum, you have a definition. Impulse, you have a definition. Right? Relative velocity, you have a definition. Relative velocity, relative acceleration, everything you have a definition. Okay. Center of gravity, you have a definition. Right? Particle, you have a definition. Everything has a definition. Even real numbers have definitions. Definition based mathematics is running on the definitions and proofs. Putha. Axioms, theorems, definitions, proofs, corollaries. Menna මේවා තමයි maths එකේ core areas. All these things are there in your A level syllabus. All these things are there in your A level syllabus. Putha, if a person is studying A level maths properly, and at the maths knowledge that you're going to get is like nobody can touch you. I mean, not the people who did degree. School level එකේ ඉන්න කිසිම එකෙක්ට can't compete with you. Like O level unta වැට දාන්න පුළුවන්. Right? And the skill that you are going to develop. Number one, prediction skill. Right? Fun thing එකක් කියන්නටක් ගාලා. If a person is doing A level, let's say you're solving a question in maths. A level maths, if you want to solve a question successfully and quickly, let's say you write a step, you write this step after solving the next 3 steps in your head, which means you're making the decision to write this step, already deciding what are the other steps that's gonna come. You're not writing this step and then thinking about the simplification of the next step. You think about when you keep the pen on the paper to solve the question or write the discussion for the question, try to explain the question in your words when you're keeping the pen on the paper, which means you have already decided what's gonna happen, how it's gonna happen. If I make this decision, this is where I'm gonna end up. That ability, that skill, you can apply in a practical life. If I make this decision, where this is gonna end. If I make this decision, what are the consequences that I'm gonna face? You can predict. Sometimes the people won't like to talk to you because you are too much predictable, and whatever the things that you say is like 80 to 90% correct. Right? Then sometimes they might think that you are overthinkers. You are not overthinkers. Maths people are some people who decides or who makes decision based on the available acceptable data, and then they properly map the dots. We have a kind of an ability, putha ayana කාටවත් නැති ability එකක් maths people have. What is it? Brain wiring. Maths people and physics people, those people have kind of a even the biology people don't have that skill. Okay, most of them are, right? Because that's why they have physics as a subject to learn the thinking ability, to teach them the thinking ability. Maths people learn the thinking ability, critical thinking, in two subjects, maths and physics both. So they have kind of a different level of thinking ability. They have that ability is called the brain wiring. You connect the dots. For an example, 2 months before, someone said something to you, and after 2 months, another incident is happening. So you kind of nobody is sensible for that, but you are sensible. That may be the cause for this. Sometimes you might be able to predict what's going to happen next. Basically, that doesn't mean you all can become a fortune teller, right? You are becoming a person who can make decisions, actually the right decisions with minimum loss. With no loss we can't make decisions. With minimum loss we can make decisions. No loss we can't make decisions because we are not God. We are human beings. Obviously we will make mistakes when making decisions. Okay, so obviously mataka tiyaganna අපේ decision making is super important, right? And decision making ability will be definitely developed in maths. I can assure you that. So in the first month, reviews of basic algebra and real numbers part will be done separately. When we are discussing applied mathematics, right, for your batch I have exclusively planned for a separate session for applied engineering thinking, right? So those who want to get into the engineering faculty, right, physical science karla physics karanna hari, engineering faculty anna hari, those who want to get into that one hari, anna a lamain venuwen, right, which means everyone right, which means everyone separately, not just for papers, separate critical thinking practice or practical thinking practice will be happening for applied mathematics. Okay, pure mathematics වලට පුතා separate sessions will happen for Q&A sessions, tutorial sessions I call that. Applied mathematics, there will be a training session happening separately for critical thinking and practical applications. So by the end of this 2028 A levels, you all are becoming a person who's fully fledged in algebra, fully fledged in calculus, fully fledged in trigonometry, fully fledged in mechanics, which includes dynamics and statics, both aspects of this one mechanics part, and then vectors, ඊට පස්සේ probability, statistics, right? So those areas in applied maths, a හැම එකකම expert plus engineering ready people will be there. Number one thing, you have to promise yourself that you all are capable of doing this. Capable doesn't mean you all have born with an ability to do maths. That's not something that's if someone is saying that person can do maths because that one is from since childhood, that person is a genius. No, that person that this let's say in a maths papers වල දෙනවනේ Amal Bimal Sunil, I will take a name like that Sunil is very much bright, no, right? He can do maths. My kid is not like that. මගේ පුතා එහෙමනේ, අපේ කිනා ඉතින් average නේ. My daughter is not very good in maths, but she is good, she is bright, but maths පොඩ්ඩක් යාට අමාරුයි, right? Hereafter, keep a goal that y'all are not gonna let any single person to point the finger towards you and say that y'all are weak in maths. If they say, straight away tell them you are not weak, y'all are just in the learning phase. Every single person have their own way of learning, own method of learning, own ability of the own ability own what do you call, strategic method of learning. Okay, so that one, sometimes if they selected the wrong strategy, their learning phase is going to be slower. That doesn't mean they are dumb or they are not good at maths or something. Nobody is born with a genius brain. Everyone is born with the same kind of a brain, same number, same amount of neurons approximately, right? Depends on the exercises, depends on the activities, depends on the effort or the critical thinking that you develop, that decides whether you're going to be a genius in maths or not a genius in maths. So every single person here is a person who can do this. So that's what we call as the potential. You have to develop your potential. I hope everyone can do that. Can you do that? Only who don't have the confidence about yourself, I raise hand karan dipa. Okay. Who has the confidence about yourself? You will do this regardless of whatever the problems that I come across. This one, courage is the only thing that keeps you going, huh? Right? I would like to see if everyone can raise their hands, right? And the other thing, you can't be lazy, okay? You can't be lazy. Lazy people will lose their place in maths, right? Now, and the other thing, when it comes to resources, you can go to NIE website and download some resource books which is available for mathematics. For statics, we have books. Statics වලට අපිට පොත් තියෙනවා. Vectors, ඊට පස්සේ system of coplanar forces, those ones. And for dynamics also, you have a book, okay, where relative motion questions were there. Okay, statics and dynamics, for these two you have. In applied mathematics you have 2 resource books. Pure mathematics, there is no any dedicated resource books published by the government. But if you have money, if you don't have money, if you don't want to spend that much of an amount, don't worry, right? Websites like some websites are there where you can find the cracked files or else illegal files, right? Oxford or Cambridge pure maths books ganda පුළුවන් නම්, for your reference, better to refer that one. However, even though you don't refer, in my classes my tutors are prepared referring to these books plus the books written by the authors who wrote these Oxford and Cambridge University books, right? A books වලින් තමයි I take questions, plus within the Sri Lankan frame, Sri Lankan curriculum එක ඇතුළේ තියෙන resource books also is used in the classes to develop questions and make questions, right? Now about the class, give me 5 minutes exactly. By 5:30, as I promised, we'll try to finish this, right? Now Buddha, when it comes to 2028 A levels, we don't have time to waste, right? You have 4 options to join the classes. I'm just giving the idea. I told you, you have to find the proper, better lecturer for you. You can just come and try the first few sessions, and if you all are satisfied, you can continue, right? Usually I give the first session free. You can come and join the first session, see if you all are satisfied, okay, you can continue, because each student will have different type of a taste. My teaching methodology, before I tell this, I must mention, in my classes I'm going to be kind of a headache, because I never leave a student behind. හැම එකටම call කර I usually give calls, I usually put messages and ask them to complete the works. If you are not completing the work, I usually remove those students from the classes. So to keep the momentum, to keep the effort, I usually keep a track on every single student who's joined the classes, right? However, there are 3 physical locations. The physical classes happening in 3 days: Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, okay, and then online class which is on these are physical classes, P, and then Wednesday we have an online class. So select your time slots, right? You can enroll in one time slot only. In case of an emergency, if you are unable to join in your relevant time slot, you can inform me earlier, then I can arrange a slot for you in another institute or online to join the classes and complete your works. Rather than going through the recordings, completing the works within the class time is valuable. Right. Monday is in Vellavatta Vidyadhari Science World. Wednesday at Sateha College, Dematagoda. I hope you all know this institute already. Thursday, Sateha College, Dehiwala. I will give you the timings. Wednesday online, same timing as the physical class, 3:30 p.m. onwards. I didn't give you the timings, no? 3:30 p.m. to 7:30, 3:30 to 7:30, 3:30 to 7:30, and then 3:30 to 7:30. Right? In between that, you will get a small break. Okay, evening. Right? So listen carefully, okay? If you want to enroll, you can drop a message to my number regarding if enroll in the sense you don't have to straight away enroll. You can drop a message to me and get registered for the first day free session. Mention which institute or which platform you all are joining. So accordingly, I will be able to give you the guidance. Okay. So every time slot is the same time slot and every class is going to happen parallelly. None of the class is going to forward and backward. Okay, every class is going to happen parallel. Suppose let's say you are registering Sateha College on Wednesday. Sateha College people can swap in between these two, but you have to inform me prior. But other institute people or Monday or online people, if you are unable to join on Monday, then you can cover it up from Wednesday or Thursday. Okay, Wednesday or Thursday. But you have to inform me earlier, then I can allocate a slot in the relevant institute. You can come and cover up your works and go. That's not an issue at all. Right? So these are fixed theory classes. After the first 2 months, I'll be taking an additional session which is discussed as a tutorial session. So you know, this timing is not enough for us. Why? To discuss applied mathematics, to discuss pure mathematics. Applied maths is a huge subject area, pure maths is a huge subject area. So discuss both the areas. We don't have enough time. These 4 hours is not enough. So later on, after 6 months, again, the time is going to increase because I told you A-level subject streams is not going to be like easy going like O levels, right? So make a product advanced and during March, only during March, the classes are going to happen only for 2 hours. You know that this one is fasting period. So there are students participating in our classes who wants to break the fast. And in my 27 batch also, my Dehiwala classes, my Bambalapitia classes, students are coming from Malvana, from Beruala, right? 26 best students were there who's coming dedicatedly for the class from Malvana and all. So those people have to go back to their hometown. So I will have to consider their time slots for them also, because still whenever I start a batch, outstation students are coming for the physical classes, right? So online also join, but some people are there online set they come physical. Okay, some people's mindset is like that. No? So during Ramadan until March 21st, this is going to be 2 hours, and then the time increases up to 3:30 to 7:30. After 5 months, it's going to increase up to 3:30 to 8, 3:30 to 8, like that. So all the classes, and every class, not every class is a hybrid class. Wednesday class is only the hybrid class. Okay, the online only one online slot is there. Only one online slot is there for every week's class. Okay, you can access the recordings in case of an emergency. If you miss the classes, you can access the recordings. Otherwise, missing the class completely, regularly watching the recordings is not recommended or appreciated at all. I'm not encouraging it. It's not encouraged at all. You have to join the live classes and finish the work, because suddenly I give spot exams, suddenly I give term exams. I don't inform prior to the class, because to ensure that students are daily working, they are ever ready for the exams. Because like in O levels, we can't pre-inform you the exam date, and you are preparing dedicatedly for the exam. After the exam, until the next spot exam we keep, you are not doing anything at all. But if I keep the exam suddenly, you know that we don't know when this sir will give us exams. We have to be always ready. right? 1 or 2 papers, you might get that surprisingly. Third paper, you know that a day, we don't know when sir is going to give the paper, then I have to work killer. You will get onto the track and work. So regular classes, joining the live classes. I'm encouraging joining the live classes because exams are conducted in live classes, and your performance are monitored through a dedicated LMS. I have an LMS currently, which is gonna change by the end of August to a brand new, completely automated LMS, where you can join the live classes, attempt exams, attempt quizzes, check your marks, get in touch with me, and get in touch with my own developed AI assistant for the mathematics questions and cloud clarifying. So until that, our current LMS is the one that manages all your performance tracking and all, right? Your performance tracking, every spot exam, every term exam paper, marks are released to your emails. Once the LMS is new LMS comes, you can check from the LMS. The current LMS, you can check only the exam marks, but still continuously will be updating your performance updates, right? So that's about it. And most promisingly, I can tell you, you can check with our 27 A-level batch and also 26 A-level batch. 26 A-level batch puta syllabus is finishing this March 22nd. This month 22nd syllabus is over. Count how many months ahead the exam? February, April, May, June, July. 4 months ahead the exam. 27 batch, the syllabus is covered 7 months ahead, 6 months ahead the exam. By 2027 Jan, their syllabus will be covered. By the time we have covered like first term, second term, some lessons from third term, we have covered in the classes. So what I'm trying to tell is I'm covering the syllabus early. Also, I'm not going according to the NIEO examinations department suggested term order. If we go like that, we can do the syllabus and we will never be able to cover the syllabus. So to cover the syllabus properly, and we are covering the lessons such way that once the lesson is done, students can try any past paper they get. Any past paper they randomly select from last 30 years, you should be able to attempt a full essay question. Such way only we cover the syllabus. Usually, for an example, in the first term we have trigonometry functions and all. Trigonometry first term and second term both we have. Usually I start with real numbers, which is the very first lesson. Okay, as a step into A levels, we start with real numbers lesson, and then regular classes, same as normal classes, we do functions, relations, functions and all. And then instead of starting trigonometry straight away, I start the second term syllabus, quadratics. Because if you go through the past papers, you will see from polynomial functions and quadratics. If you don't know these terms, don't worry about it. You will understand what are those. These are not like magic words or anything. Polynomial functions and quadratics, you'll get one single essay question in your final exam paper, definitely for sure. And that's the 11th question also in pure paper, right? Definitely you will get a question from that. So once we finish that one, you'll be able to try past papers. So you'll get a confidence. What the confidence? Because polynomials, quadratics, now this is March, no? April, May, second week with the polynomials, polynomial functions, quadratic functions fully will be done. Which means by the end of May, you all are not just new to A levels, you all are people who have, even though you all are new, you all are experienced in past paper question solving, because you can attempt a full essay question in A level paper within 2.5 months. That will give you a confidence, and that will keep your momentum throughout the entire A level journey, right? Okay. Right. So that's about the class instructions. So class fee details I'm not going to mention here. Okay, because the class fee is slightly varies depending on the physical institute and the online platform. So I'm not going to mention all the class fee details here. Right. Okay. And the other thing is, There will be dedicated one-on-one sessions will be taken. If anyone is not working properly in the classes, you can get ready to meet me personally through an online platform, okay, to clarify all your doubts and discuss with your parents as well, right? Not to blame, not to blame you, not to scold you, not to do, not to like drag you down or anything. Get you back to the track and get your A pass or ensure your A pass, right? Still, the 100 marks is in your hand. You still haven't started, no? Tama lakunu siyate. Still, the 100 marks is in your hand. But what students do is willingly, without properly putting the effort, willingly they stepping towards the W. Willingly. They don't work properly. No matter how many times we say, discussed in the classes, so it's okay to just skip the. No, even though you have studied, be working on that one in a balance subjects, students. I forgot to mention about the combined maths stream and the chemistry people. I mean, physical science stream and the chemistry people. If you take physical science stream, I quickly mention this one. There are two actually under physical science stream. These are the three subjects: physics, combined maths, and third one is chemistry. Okay. If you are a person who is doing ICT, in your results sheet, you will be mentioned that none or is no stream or other. Nathang other kila mention. Me tune ekak mention. None or no stream or other. Usually they mention as other. If you are doing physics, combined, and ICT. Okay. So if you ask me, if I select ICT instead of chemistry, will my scope will be limited? If you ask me regarding the number of degrees you have to do, yes, there's a limitation. Regarding the industry, if you ask me, there is no limitation. There's no limitation. Simple idea. If you want to become an engineer, do chemistry. Engineer, which means if you want to get into the engineering faculty, do chemistry. Those who do ICT are not eligible to apply for engineering faculties in any of the state universities. But they can apply to universities. Here, these people get engineering and including computing courses, including computing degrees. These people will start with here. These people also including computing courses, including AI. Okay, AI youth karanda puluwa. ICT people starting from AI, all computing courses they can do. Also, these people can do physical sciences. These people also can do physical science. Physical sciences means the core science subject, okay? Purely mathematics, purely applied math, purely physics. Not like in engineering, you do applications. No. In physics, you learn the physics. Again, properly every aspect of physics you are going to learn. Chemistry, purely chemistry. Inside physical sciences, those like science subject you can learn to the core. Okay. But the restriction when it comes to physical sciences is that sometimes ICT people may not be able to do, obviously ICT people will not be able to do chemistry in physical sciences. And when it comes to physical sciences in applied science faculty in University of Sri Jayawardenepura, ICT people not get to do statistics also, right? They will get physics, electronic embedded systems, and ICT, and then ICT included, there's another subject combination they can do. While chemistry people get 11 subject combinations to select, one of them you can select and do. So number of courses product limit, but when it comes, usually a person who's doing ICT, That person is selecting ICT 99% of the time. The whole purpose is to get into the computing field or rather than physical sciences. So එහෙම තියෙනවා do ICT. If your ultimate goal is to get into AI field, data science field, or computing field, solely in that field only, then do ICT. If you are a person who still wants to do chemistry and get into the data science field, still no worries, you can do chemistry, because physics, chemistry, combined maths, all three develops analytical thinking. Since in data science the critical thinking is required, chemistry people latak AI karanda buluwan, any IT course, any computing course, chemistry people also can do. I also did A-level chemistry. My degree includes math, statistics, and computer science. I did computer science. Okay. So now, apart from my A-level teaching career, right, I run a startup, okay, for technology, which gives web application solutions and AI-driven data solutions for companies. Basically, the statistical aspects, because I did statistics, no, statistical aspect use karla data analysis solutions. Then a AI platform we are developing. So why did I tell you that one? Even though I did chemistry, I am in maths field plus computing field. I'm in maths field plus computing field. Okay, so each subject area have their own strengths. Okay, but if you ask me which one is easy, ICT is easier than chemistry. ICT is way easier than chemistry. If you take this subject combination, combined maths is the easiest one. If you take this subject combination, ICT is the easiest one. What is the difficult one? Physics. Huh? Physics is the most difficult one for most students, because they choose the wrong lecturer. Number two, they don't work from the beginning. They try to memorize the physics formulas and do, but physics is not memorizing formulas. Physics, maths, both practical understanding is heavily required. Okay, so I'm not going to take more time than this one. Is there anything that you have to ask from me now, Puta? 5 minutes then now. If you have anything to ask, you can ask. Or if you all got something useful, please drop a comment in the chat box. Okay, regarding this, right? We can quickly wind up. I know most of you all have to break fast. I also have to break fast. Okay, Ehinda. Drop a message in the chat box. I'm waiting for your responses. So here I mainly focused on how you have to work, who can work. Okay, what is the subject? Just a brief introduction about this thing. Huh? So I want to do physics, combined maths, and ICT. What are the books should I buy before the classes start? Don't buy any books, Puta. Just refer to e-files, because when you buy books, what happens is you are trying to depend on that one, and you will sometimes go out of the syllabus's frame. You will not be able to answer the A-level standard paper. If you really want to buy books, okay, physics and combined maths, we don't have any dedicated books dedicated good books published by the NIE. But as I mentioned, that foundation courses for the foundation just to start the A-levels, and then statics and dynamics, Q and questions and answers books are there published by NIE, and it is also available as a free resource on their website, right? If you want to buy other books, the other books, one book itself somewhere around 10,000, 15,000, and that one book covers only a particular small area of our A-level syllabus. So no use of buying those books. Okay. So in my tunes, I already include the questions from that. So, and special applications will be discussed. So don't worry about it. If you really want to buy, and if you have money to buy, then buy. So can't we do ICT instead of physics with combined maths? Can do, but you will not be getting most of the courses these two people do. Still, you will fall on the none category. You have to apply private. Okay, you have to apply private. Okay, ICT physics with can't do ICT instead of physics with combined. The thing is, most of the time you will not be able to get into physical sciences also, because physics is a core element to get into engineering and physical, even into ICT field. Okay, because Physics develops the critical thinking. So physics, they will be considering as a core element. Okay. So that's the main thing. Any doubts? So I do not recommend you all to skip physics. Okay, replace physics with ICT. Don't do that. I do not recommend that. Can do as a private candidate, you can apply and do, but when it comes to university intake, most of the courses you can't apply because most of the courses requires physics and combined maths both. However, the graphs knowledge is required in A levels. So usually when we start graph related parts in A levels, we discuss from scratch. From the beginning we discuss, but A level, as O level, the parabolic graphs, the quadratics graph you plot, that one you will be studying from the beginning again, no worries. But better to have some sort of a basic idea about it. No need to have a deep knowledge because you're going to start from scratch in A levels. Can catch up. Anything else? So this Wednesday we are starting our online session and physical session. Okay, day after tomorrow we are doing our first session. First session itself we are starting the syllabus. So don't miss the classes from the beginning. Okay. Barakallahu fiik. So I want to do in ICT field. Is it okay to do ICT instead of no problem. If you're, and remember, if you're doing ICT, make sure in addition to the A-level ICT syllabus, get some broader knowledge also, because A-level ICT syllabus is easy because that's the same syllabus is used for arts people also. Arts karna kattiya, arts people, commerce people, tech people, maths people, bio people. Those who are selecting ICT basically in A-level from any stream is going to do the same ICT. So they haven't made the ICT that complicated because if they make it standard as it is understandable for a maths person, art people won't be doing that, or art people will fail. Then ICT, most of the art people are not performing well. Most commerce people also not performing well in ICT. The current syllabus also, but maths people are delightfully performing because maths physics is developing the thinking. So that's why ICT is somewhat easy. Okay, but therefore what I'm saying, if you want to do ICT, if you really want to do ICT, what I'm recommending is, along with the ICT background that you are studying in A levels, study some additional things also during your A level journey. Since ICT is easy, big weight is reduced from that side. So during your A level journey, do some AI related projects, try to develop some small AI machine learning models, small projects, develop them and try to get a hands-on experience. So when it comes to university and industry level, you will have a broader idea about it. So external knowledge if you are doing ICT. That's my best advice. Okay. Anything else? All your doubts, Ahanda Puta, with my experience, with my knowledge, I am able to answer you. Right? Nobody is left behind. That's why we are here as teachers. Right? And that's why we are entitled for. You all are all of our students. Obviously, you have lots of doubts, lots of confusions. Where to start, when to start. You will have to develop your confidence. Confidence, no, and the person who don't have a confidence can't do A-level maths. You have to have confidence. Everybody has a confidence. You just have to trigger that ego. That's a small ego within you, right? If someone is saying, you can't do this, no, you have to understand, you can't do this, no. So see, if you're doing this one is difficult. If someone is saying A-level maths is difficult, the first question you have to ask from them is, how do you know whether this is difficult or not? have you done A-level maths? If you have done A-level maths, what's your A-level result? If that person is done, if this person has done A-level maths and got 3 W's, then that person haven't worked at all, because nikan gihilla just sitting in a live class, just working roughly, still you can get 3 S passes. That's how the S pass is prepared in the A-level paper, right? I will send you a file, statistic file. Now I don't have time. අපි පන්ති පටන් ගත්තම in the first day session. In the first day session, I usually show the statistics. Today I told you that I'll be showing that, but now we don't have time, right? How many students are getting S passes and how many students are getting A passes? So roughly, to give you an idea, I will share this one and show you. So will online classes be successful just like the physical classes? If you ask about other institute, other classes, I don't know. If you personally ask me, my major crowd is coming online. My major crowd is coming online, right? My physical crowd, all institute together, is equivalent to my online crowd, 27 A levels. Poddak kadui, but almost equal. Like my major crowd is coming online. Okay, so because exams are given, live exams are monitored through the LMS. Students are frequently given a call and asked about the things. But if you are a person who's getting easily distracted, if you don't have the ability to keep your concentration towards one thing continuously, then I would recommend you a physical class. But puta, online, what's the benefit is keyword. Number one, the time that you are getting ready for the class is saved. The time that you are spending for the transportation is saved. You are not getting tired because of the transportation. From that itself, you will be saving somewhere around 3 hours to 4 hours in a day. With a maths paper, one paper is 3 hours, which means you're basically saving one complete paper writing time. If you can develop your concentration, I recommend the best thing is online. If you can't keep your concentration, if you are not confident with your online concentration, then come to physical classes and complete the works. But if you take me, both online and physical students will be treated equally. Actually, our online kattiya, since they should not feel that they are left behind, unta potta call karla katha karanawa, not regularly, like once a month hari, twice a month hari, call or message ekak dala I follow up with. Yes, all my first classes are free. Yeah? The first session, all the sessions that's happening this week and next Monday session are free. Monday physical session, Wednesday physical and online session, and the Thursday physical session. All the sessions are free of charge, will be open sessions. Details will be provided in the community and the channel. So please stay updated with that. Location will be sent. Online people at online link will be sent. Okay. Right. Anything else? So as a help for the people who waited until the last moment, ඔයාලට support එකක් වෙන්න පුතා, I'm gonna share a PDF file with you which has all the lesson topics of the syllabus. Not the complete lessons. Lesson topics tika thiyena, you can have an idea what are those lessons. If you want to find resources, you can search using that name. You can go through some YouTube tutorials. If you want to check my teaching, right, in my YouTube channel, right, mage recordings වගේක් තියෙනවා. Okay, center of gravity, modulus functions and inequalities, work energy power, those kind of some recordings are available on my YouTube channel. You can go through that, you can get an idea. But sometimes you might not be able to understand the concept directly because you all are new to A levels. You might not have any idea about the A level lesson connections, so you might not understand, but you can check the teaching pattern and teaching methodology and get an idea about the teaching, right? So YouTube channel name is Puta Arman Teachers Math which was formerly called as MATLAB Education. Okay, now I have changed the name to Arman Teachers Math. Okay, I think I informed you how many batches I have taught. 2021 was my first exam batch, which was a super group class, a very small group class I started. 22, 23, 24, 25. All these are group classes, which before I enter into the industry of A-level tuition, like mass classes, local promotions. These are my A-level batches that I released. Somewhere around all the batches, every student is enrolled to state universities, right? I can't promote their results because individual classes means students are attending two classes. So credit I can't take it alone, okay? Because I mainly did the paper practice and applied mathematics for most of the people, right? Paper, both pure and applied mathematics. 2026 is my mass class batch, 2027, and then your batch 2028. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're my 8th batch. You're my 8th batch. These 5 batches were these 2 batches. Juniors are there in my university itself. Whatever the university, my university, whatever the university can be. University of Sri Jayawardhanapura, USJP. University of Sri Jayawardhanapura. May university I have my juniors from these 2 batches. May batches swelling Colombo, Peradeniya, Moratuwa and Kelaniya people are there. Okay, my students are there, right? 26 batch, this August only they are facing the exam. 27 batch next August, 28 batch your batch, right? So the batches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 completely sent for the exam. 6th batch is on currently on progress. 7th batch is next year. 8th batch will be your batch. Engineering තියන්නේ මොරටු විතරනේ here Peradeniya 1 engineering 2 physical. Jayawardhanapura all physical, right? 3A එකෙකුත් ඉන්නවා, he wants to do physics special, so he entered physical science also. Okay, ඊට පස්සේ Moratuwa engineering, because most of the people are ICT people නේද? Usually when it comes to group classes in ICT people. So ICT people don't get engineering. So 1 or 2 chemistry people only come. Okay, right? Harida, did I answer openly? Right? Right. So this one I sent a PDF file, which is the syllabus outline, and also I will send another PDF. Okay, I send another PDF. Ek chutta go through karanna, which is the complete resource analytics of 2024 A levels. Okay. Complete resource analytics of 2024 A levels. So from that PDF, you can get an understanding how the marks obtained by the students for the subjects. I will just show you one now, sharing the screen, just to give you a boosting. Hari, if let's say some number of people, let's say 100 people are doing exams, only 8 people are getting A for combined maths. Huh? I told you, there are people willingly falling into the fail category or not performing. Mathematics never combined math. There are 3 types of maths: mathematics, combined mathematics, and higher mathematics. You all are doing combined maths. Huh? So number of people who sat for the exam is 42,249, which means people who did combined maths, physics, chemistry, combined maths, physics, ICT, combined maths, and any other combination. Combined maths subject alone 42,249 people did, and only 3,500 people got A passes for combined maths, which means as a percentage 8.37. If we compare that one with 2023 results and 2024 results, combined mathematics, Puta, you can see the performance. 40,000 set here, 40,000 students set in 23, 42,000. Number of students who did combined maths has been increased, right? Altogether, passes, A, B, C, and S passes altogether 26,000, Methana 30,000. So there's an increment. Okay, there's an increment of the pass rate. So here 65% as a percentage, here 75%. So remember, combined maths, A rate for not last year 2025 A level results only released, analytics not released. Year before that 2024 A levels the results released, analytics ekat released. This is that A level results analytics. These people are now in university first year, right? University first year ke inne, right? 8.37. See, if 100 people are sitting for the exam, doing A level combined maths, only 8 people are getting A's. 92 people are not getting A's. Why? In the beginning, everyone has the courage, but they motivation, they don't keep the consistency actually. They are not consistent. So that's why the results are losing. And as I told you, they don't have unconditional sacrifice. They don't have the self-conditions or trust towards them. And also, the next thing is, what is it? They are not doing quality work. Or ekak miss sunat puta, your A is gone, na? Engineering count එක ගත්තොත් from the whole island, all faculties, all together, engineering, not even 2000 is there, right? එනම අඩු ප්‍රමාණයක් තමයි engineering ගන්න. All together, physical science stream, physical science ICT or physical science chemistry කරන කට්ටිය, කියන්නේ maths, chemistry, physics, maths, ICT, physics. These people, if you take somewhere around 40,000, 35,000 to 40,000, now it very 50,000 or something is there. Inside the university, engineering, physical sciences, all the courses together, make a taking either the end, right? Somewhere around 8,000 to 12,000 mage range. Okay. All the state universities together. So think almost 1/3 of the crowd is only accepted or getting the chance to get into the state universities. Your ultimate goal should be, I am going to be within this 1/3, right? I'm going to be within this very small crowd. That should be our ultimate goal. La? From the beginning, you keep that goal and work, you will be able to do. You can do. You can do. Hurry. So keep it as a promise for yourself and work. Then I hope I clarified all your doubts. Fine, good, okay. Anything that you need to add to this one? Or at least drop a comment, Puta, regarding this thing. Did I clarify everything? Did I answer openly to every question that you asked from me? Quickly. Depends, Puta. In my opinion, CET, as I told you, depends on your goal and interest. Depends on your goal and interest. When it comes to the number of courses that you can apply, number of degree options that you have in the universities, this one, what is it called? Chemistry is good. Chemistry එක හොඳයි. Okay. Right. And chemistry is analytical thing. All good, right? So now it's almost breakfast time, right? So most people have left the session. They have to break the fast. So we'll wind up the session at this point. Okay. So I'm writing it on the board. If you have anything to ask from me regarding the subject or any advice, drop a message to my number. This is my personal number that I'm using for contact with the students. Okay, not my admin's number. Mage number එක මේක. This is my number, so you can contact me anytime through this number. Okay, anytime කියලා කිව්වට මේ රෑ 1ට 2ට message දාන්න එපා ළමයි හරි. Drop a message or drop a voice note. I'll be able to answer you. Good luck, guys. Then all the very best for your journey. If you are joining, if you want to try the classes, you can try it any of these slots, right? The first sessions are free. Okay, you can drop a message to me, get the reservation and join the sessions. Okay, so good luck. We'll meet in our sessions if you are participating, and all the very best for your A-level journey. Be the confident person, okay, that you have never seen about yourself, right? Become the most confident person within you, right? Most courageous person, and maths will definitely help you to do that or develop that quality. Good luck, guys. Then all the very best.